bounce with the orbs. Okay,
Okay,
G2 on defense, Lev on attack. We're at a 2-0 pistol-wise. And they wanted to punish salvos where they normally drone from. Yogamos just found the gap.
It's going to be a rush into sight. Frenzy tries to be the power, but Classics are going to reign king here as G2 is able to shut down a lot, and they go Classics.
Yeah, it's an advertisement for the G2 Classic. What is that?
Going short on util with that Ghost, and what teamwork here for a shutdown at B. Just one last player in Rossi. And this
What happened? Ended up being a 9-person duel because they went for a 4-1. And then they went for a 5. Went for a 3-2 split.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, you saw Leviatán trying to sell this fake towards the top of the arcade side, pushing a lot of players through towards the front B. But G2 did not have that many bodies to fight back towards arcade. It was literally only Jogimo holding that spot.
Is he going to go around to collect every single orb?
Feels
Feels like it.
Nice on the crossfire setup.
I respect this double orb. I was like, what else do you have to
Might
do?
be
Go
triple orb.
shopping.
Yep.
Run from side
Do you have time to get the dish orb and feel confident that he's going to die? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, do it.
Little OD to T1-2 with the classic. It looks like with 20 seconds left, he just wants to make sure that at least he gets his life away. He doesn't want to survive with only 1,000 credits. So stopping back towards the A site should be the closing deal for G2. Trying to take down one with them, but it's Jonah P. Clean kill towards the end, and G2
Deadly. Okay, first pistol for G2.
What's their second idea? I wonder if they play basically offense from defense when Jogamo on the waylay. At least from one extremity all the time, right? We see him taking towards satellite now. What's he going to do? How much trouble is he going to be causing? Oh, full check in the safe plant.
The D1 pistol for Carpe.
Demon 1's whiffing. That's not my champs MVP.
Vibes are good in both camps, but
yeah,
you're seeing here we're starting things off with an
a little bit see a little bit risky on the fence with this buy. In some reaction to losing arcade, they drone out the spot bottom side of the map.
On the run with the Marshall over towards the top side of the map. Site's getting hit right now, and that's going to be G2 in just about the same spots, dropping just about the same members of Leviatán.
Very nice. In the end, the case real fast on this one. It's going to be a great bonus round for G2. I do wonder what Jogamo's going to do, though. Does he go for the Fnatic, or do they want to save this? Oh, okay, no. If we're getting a Bucky, and we're probably saving this.
Yeah, just staying around the bonus here, and maybe the Bucky for Leafs, and maybe he's going to be the one pulling out the operator later on.
Okay, they're going for it. They definitely could have decided to have bought more heavy into this, but saving a lot more money. Might even get an op-out early, who knows.
They're setting themselves up so good for the rounds to come, economy-wise and strat-wise.
Trying to move up for the contact too. We're talking about side and big damage to come across.
Oh. Didn't get too far.
Should be an open
shot.
Never mind. I was going to say should have been an open site.
Dude, 21 HP hits that shot.
The trips are for Leaf up towards the arcade. We just overextend before the smokes went down, and that's a great opportunity.
He took down the
Jogamo
entry.
to just land one between the eyes of King. All of them buying full shields on the side of
They got
Leviatán,
one backup smoke. So wherever they decide to re-hit, which we can see is going to be B, one of these areas is going to be open, and they're going to be focusing on it so much that Leaf going close with a Bucky is going to be devastating. Yeah, I think this is a good call to go over towards A. Just in general with the one smoke, like at least you can smoke the floor and you can cross.
Credit to them there for the opportunity, but it's going to be a lot to get through still. Who's this focus? Rossi got a bunch earlier.
I don't think they need to tap this orb.
Yeah, they don't. You're right.
There's no time left. You don't want to let the players know that you're moving in towards the A side for the contact. So smoke's going to go down. They actually use their util to potentially break Cypher trips if they were close towards that side. So clean entry towards the end for Leviatán, but here already comes G2. In the extremities, double up towards the sand, couple towards the spawn. A big lurk coming out here from Valen.
Interesting. It's going to be tough to get a post-plant molly on that one, so they have to play for the kills right now.
Joke, come on, man.
Behind, but they come through the door.
See?
Oh, refract to the same spot, and still a kill from Demon.
Yeah, he did way too much. He did way too much on his HP.
Perfectly. Very healthy members on the side of G2. The 1v1 to Kirby. Oh,
That's nuts, dude. Valen with the defuse gets ult as well.
On this one to get the round.
Yeah, quite interesting on a side.
Yeah, I gotta see this POV, man. I feel like this shot is lovely. I think they peak before the smoke goes down, though, right?
So then after that, when Tex is on a 1 versus 2, he's still got 2 razor
nice
wires.
shot.
You're not using it to try to stall even more towards sand, so.
And then he distracted long enough. Get Valen the other kill.
Yeah, it looked pretty questionable with the way that we refracted there for Dogima, but it was just allowing Valen to come through.
Lev did get a plant, so we get an okay low buy going on. We got an outlaw still for Jorgmo. They still buys it, obviously. Marshall? No, Marshall's legit, man. It shoots way too fast.
Just gets the eye of somebody on the other side. So they don't fully take sand.
This is nice from G2, though. They push behind, kind of got him locked in a little bit.
Could get awkward.
Wait, Rossi picks this up like he's going for it.
This might be the cue here. So if the drone could spot somebody, they're probably going to Rolling Thunder around that to try to get an entry, but side's clear. They'll save it for a potential delay on the post plan. King's already low HP as they're trying to go for a plan.
Oh, that is...
Spammed out. Perfect spam by Trent there, just to the right, knowing where they could escape from. Waylay already behind here, and Jog's just reading that sheer vice wall before he moves. So much patience right now as G2 get into position. 2 just on the extremities. Jaw trying to push past. He gets 1, but is cleaned up. Or not cleaned up, rather. Still the fight there will finally be found by Rossi. 12 HP. G2 is doing such a good job at leaving Leviatán nothing here at the end of these rounds.
Ooh.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Had the
That's
right play, get out of that situation and try to turn around for the kill, but too much teamwork, too much crossfire, too much.
Okay, do they have a set strat all on
defense?
defense?
Starting off Fracture, a much different story
Let's
than
find
our
out.
first map.
Almost felt though that Rossi
Maybe camera contact into something?
Yeah, it looked like it.
But some great discipline towards the end on that 2 versus 1.
Could be something to do with retake.
Trying to see if Rossi is going to take the first peek.
Nah, it doesn't really look like it. Okay, Jogamo gets the op out.
Do the perfect swing to actually take him down. So towards the end though, G2 will not get thriftied or anything, and Leviatán is able to save the Rolling Thunder into this round.
2-9 loss bonus if Lev get a plant they can buy if they want to go light armor next.
Refract available. Very similar ways to how you could play with, for example, the cryo.
Ooh, very nice.
The cryo chamber, for example, but looks like he didn't pay attention to that corner. Tex is able to take him down early.
Valen answering though.
Great trades.
Nice arcade teamwork.
Info trip, kill trip,
Still gonna have to
camera.
get these trips.
Might get a kill off that.
Pinning people down once they do. That's going to be a tough spot. Oh, actually does almost all the damage he needs to.
Oh my goodness, Rossi, you're a little bit of a lunatic.
And do they push out and try to retake again? A lot of tower control here from Leviatán, but this is going to be G2 kind of walking in the bottom side.
Huge survivability with Rossi being able to make it out alive as that Rolling Thunder is still available. This might guarantee the round now for Leviatán to score up on Fracture.
They need the 1. They have to stop the bleeding right now that G2's created with these 4 rounds. King with a nice kill to stop that re-entry, and they're definitely going to have the numbers to do it.
Very, very nice shots from Tex.
By Tex, a 3K for him, and we
could have been a lot worse from Lev. Really, they'll take it.
A very nice punish coming out from Tex in the very beginning by just hugging that wall on the side of the tree. So you think you had the line the whole time, but because you're holding a rifle, because you're holding a... What was it, the Outlaw that was probably still available there for Jogimo? It sticks out easy for Tex, just get the wall bang kill, and that allows here for Leviatán to just tempo up very quickly towards the B-side plant.
Ian, heat up, my boy, let's go.
So now he's happy. Now he's saying, you actually lived once, now there's like levels to it. He's just building Tex up, and he's going to be Super Saiyan by the end of the game. Rossi just kind of bringing in the vibes with a little bit of the cook.
Locating chaotic right here.
Oh dear. Yeah, he saw one, so
Oh,
you know
boy.
there's going to be more on the other side. Ultimate coming
Hey, only one got hit by
a
it.
little bit slow motion
Ooh.
gameplay, but that's not going to slow Lev down at all.
Not the
Drop
greatest.
Giacomo
I kind of wanted
push
to
out.
use it
Still
like
playing super aggressive. You love to see it.
Fnatic normally
Huge
use
by
their
Demon
breach
One,
short.
though. So they combine the orbital strike with the salvos just to isolate and split out the push attempted by G2. And even though the convergent path from Giacomo actually did get the contact onto Rossi, it didn't hit the other two, and it was an easy kill towards the end. So another player advantage coming out for Leviatán, with Giacomo falling first on the side of G2.
And they take all that convergence path space, too. So this should be a really well-known strat hit. Not much that two players can do versus the full team of Lev, but we will
Yeah,
see
we got
the
double
end.
kill trip here.
Oh, yeah. Steel Garden says, thank you very much for the weaponry. Your arsenal's gone. And Lev should be able to get into this one fairly easy.
Yeah. Unless there's going to be some trips activated and try to get
Oh
some
my
extra
goodness,
loss, but
Trent
nice
is
push
so
by G2
fast.
here through the smoke.
All over towards site. He does have a little cubby.
Oh,
Top
does he find
left.
it? Tuck his toes in.
Nah,
Gonna be
yeah, and
good
when
for
he
the
did it, he
corner.
didn't
Rossi
realize
stays
because the
alive, and I
salvos
don't know if we're gonna
flew a
think about
little
that
bit
spot right
deeper.
away. Yeah, Trent's got his eyes on it. From the right side, King is in the trade with Trent. And now G2 are trying to get
bullets.
the last bit of footing they need to get themselves onto the spike. Two players in sight with Calm on the rotation now. A little bit of indecision here from Rossi. Should he go down? Should he stay up? As he hits the Rolling Thunder, he gets time to think about it all.
Yeah, you see Calm staying all the way back here. He should have the salvos, and indeed he will.
Now they know.
But Rossi just fell.
The salvos let him know where he's coming from. One low Trent, one health Valen. It could be the other way. The low players on the defuse.
Nice, he
And
played
Valen
from
goes down.
Calm.
That's going to be it on the round. Nicely done by Calm to steal this one away.
Nicely
from
done
the
from Calm.
grasp
You can
of
definitely see that
as they were
G2
on the
don't
defuse.
look
Confident
as
for Calm as
confident
well,
on this
not to
map.
go for the full swing
Yeah.
after
A
dropping
couple
the
of
first player.
little micro things I'm looking at.
That is once again
You know,
a
checking some of
champion's
the
mindset.
most common
Just
corners.
reading that his opponent was only gonna stick it at
For
half,
sure.
and he tried to
Like the
go
old
for
stuff.
at least a trade
A
on the
little bit
side
off.
of
There's just a
G2.
couple of them in this round.
Not going for the full swing, keeping his crosshair placement there.
I'm looking as like clean as some of the other stuff.
Drags it
But again,
out.
I guess I don't want to spend too much time on this map anyway because it is going, but after Toronto.
Nice Red Bull clutch and a very much needed clutch here for the side of
Um,
Leviatán.
Okay, force them down to an eco, and they use some mods into this as well, so chance for Lev to get that money.
So they can start to stack a bit of economy. Thinking about everything as they start these rounds off down by 2.
We got a drone for drone, and there's a chance that this drone saw 2
How
here.
good does it work? How good does it work? Oh, Jog can't connect the next one as Rossi answered back quick as well.
Oh yeah, I think the drone only saw
They have
1.
answers for everything here. Everybody's raising their hand to get into the mix. Jonah's now going to trade everything on the north side of the map as they keep fighting.
Huh.
My God.
That's a Stinger ADS with that
What
kill.
a weird round coming through. And Tex is like, well, I guess we got to go to where the party is. So he goes towards the top side of the map as well.
Thankfully,
Is
it's an
that-
outlaw.
Yeah,
So one tap on these players.
one.
Okay.
And he didn't take too much damage either. He won't have the
Big
regen.
reloads.
We'll have a bit of movement up. They destroy his line through the gate with the smoke. Yeah, this is only kind of dictating what he's going to do. Tough to peek out of that
Man,
smoke.
G2
They've already
is
encroached
too
up
good with
far
him.
enough, and a thrifty for G2.
Stingers,
specialties
sheriffs.
I mean, that's a crazy round by G2. You
Double
see,
upgrade of the
at
guns,
least from
their
the
money's
beginning,
now good.
before the mirrors come up,
Money gets
that it looks
completely
like it was going to
swapped.
be a
Giacomo
north side
picks
crunch.
back the
But
op.
instead, they just wait it out and try to force their opponents into different extremities. So you start swinging in pendulum and in tandem. You see first starts
They're
getting
just
activated
way
here
too
towards
good
the
with
side of
stingers,
Dish.
man. Look at
When
this.
Leviatán tries to help out those players on the right side, they push towards the arcade and goes vice versa.
Why is it so accurate at
They
that
had
range?
Continuous backstabs onto Leviatán. And you definitely see the frustration coming out from Calm. The rest of the team for Leviatán being played into the round. And as we talk about the round, there's already salvos coming out here, at least at the beginning, to try to stop an aggression out of Leviatán from the south side towards Tree. But that's already used on the side of G2. And Leviatán will stop and go in a different spot, still staying back towards that spawn. But you also notice an operator out this time around for Giacomo,
Yeah.
holding out towards the arcade.
Yeah, it's got the back watch there by Trent. They should be okay for the situation.
Weird little
A
push,
bit of a
but
fake towards A.
Brent's been pretty on it. What's the timing like on this? Nuts. Trent's been really on it. He's 11 to 1. Got the spike down it. What the hell are these shots, man?
Very reminiscent of his fracture gameplay. Now they know there's an op on the board. Yeah, they leave.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
It's tough though because you stick it to get
Yeah,
out
they
of
go
there. Yes, you
fast over
upgraded
towards
into
A,
a
so
vandal, but
they
you're now moving
might
into
beat
full
it, but
setup of
Jonah's
the-
already rotating. Leaf has a lovely camera.
And it's a one-way cage too.
One-way cage, early trip. But they go Sands. It's like the one position he's kind of weak from.
Leaf to his own devices here. Let him play aggressive. Let him play for the 1 and possibly the 2. We're going to start the action now as he's just waiting. Surrounded by players. That's going to be the first one. The second one for Leaf with the first.
Yeah, it's really nice though. It's a really strong setup. He doubles up the one-way as well. So you can like really stall this out.
Rolling Thunder gets enough distance to actually smother towards the front of the site and not affect Leaf. So you get the easiest 3K ever. Even one of them got launched into the first trip.
Yep.
Very, very nice teamwork towards the end. On the side of G2.
They're so mad about that, bro.
Look at that. Josh is like, yep, another day at the office. This is what we practiced. Everything's going according to plan. 6-2 night and day here from what we had on our first map. And it looks like we're getting that LEV timeout to see if they can bring it back to even.
Yeah, so far it's...
He loves to be a pest, yeah.
Staying as a group,
He really
but
does.
they are wasting a little bit too much of that time before they try to go for some sort of an exec. I'd like to see if they would try to insert some players a little bit more, try to manipulate. You have 4 quadrants to work with here. You might have to add a little bit more responsibility onto Tex here to lurk around towards the ace, towards anywhere actually to cut the rotates, so they can activate on the rest here for Leviatán. But so far, I haven't seen anything too special coming out from G2 yet with this Waylay. Just some standard
maybe
stuff coming
something.
out outside of good trades, good shooting.
Maybe
coming out
something
from G2
set.
side.
Does feel like they're
No
getting.
real
I
trap plays coming
can't
out
really
as well.
blame
Leviatán should be
G2
ready
for going
those
for
type
the
of things,
4-1
and
pistol setup
be
again.
very basic at the very beginning on the side of the defense.
Because I feel like Lev's been getting the most success over towards B for sure.
Now they push forward. Oh, eats that, but still has protection. Actually hasn't thrown down the ability, so it could get very dangerous down here. He tries to dash out, gets locked up again. A lot of
Wait,
damage
what
to
happened
Kingo
here?
traded in this situation.
Thing is, when the neon wall went up, refracts away, and that gives a little bit of space for Leviatán to be able to take.
I don't even know how this damage came.
You see, G2 was
Came
forcing
about to
themselves
King.
in that fight for a bit, kind of bumping into each other, walking out there as they refracted. Not a problem, but you see what kind of chaos they try to create and play within here just before they get out. And see if that damage sticks for King and becomes a big problem for him towards the end of the round. Still just leading on his own. You expect him to do big things still.
Especially if they hear this camera, they won't expect him to be there. So what timing does he get on this?
So if his sticks gun out,
Well,
she went for the peak, and that's a huge punish for Leviatán.
They try to get the site. Whoa, Trent.
yeah, now they got the
Very
ults to stop
risky
this. If
play
Alan
there,
gets
but
a
if
kill, they
it
get
pays
another
off,
ult as well to
another
stop it.
player. Still
Rossi
44
looking
though,
fine
as
for
the
it.
Armageddon goes down, looking to displace and do a little bit of damage, but again, nobody can play off of that. So maybe a little early as we still have the rotation coming around.
That will be tough for G2 to retake. They have
Oh,
to
that's massive
fairly
info.
Oh, I feel like that op slowing down Jog just a little bit from the action we usually see, but it's not.
Yeah,
a bad
pressure on
purchase for
site
them,
and then
so
open.
Vines go down to slow down things behind. They're just waiting for Valen. All of this stall going down, Vans.
Yeah, salvos are up now.
Someone
Tap
needs
it
to
right
push. Yeah.
Good lord.
Jump spot, you know nobody's on that. I mean, how do you play this
Nicely
round?
done.
Pulling your hair out if you're trying to get a spike diffuse down right now. Jonah P could be going down to this. They want to get the operator and get out still. You're going to try to give that to Jog, and they will successfully save it for the next round as Lev.
Teo,
Another
yeah.
one, and the timeout clicks.
Good classic Valorant round on the
But
Bulls platform.
I imagine
Just
that's
now.
what G2 is going to be doing
Very
majority of
difficult trying
attack
to
as
retake.
well,
Just
so
needed G2 to get these picks earlier on when they were
I think we
trying
might
to
have
go
to get
for
used to it for a
the
little bit
mixed
because we're going to see it
maneuver
a
on
lot.
the retake. That said, though, I got to respect King sliding out there. We mentioned he was low HP. So he slides through even though he gets picked off as he slides down by Trent. At least a util's around. He gets the information whether players are out for G2 side. They're still not
Okay,
set up
I'm
inside
a
the
little
site.
concerned how we didn't remember what the timeout happened, but it's okay. We won the round.
That they're able to get into the site and get a nice little plant there, and that forces the timeout this time around from the side of
Guessing,
Josh
oh
Ortiz.
yeah? Nah, the
Yeah,
Teo
he
Nuff will
wasn't
come in.
happy with the loss on that round. I think maybe one too many chances are being rolled.
They
into
can't
the mix
be
here for G2.
they can't be
Losing a
Nerf
bit
and
HP
Vice,
on
but not
1P,
touching
going in
Teo.
front of each other without waiting for util, and they bring back those fundamentals and they look unstoppable. So that may just be a reset here for G2 as they come into this next one.
Yeah, I mean, you also played a very weak 4-1 in the very beginning. You saw the
That's
chaos
true.
that started on that B side
Leave
towards
one now.
Arcade.
After
Exactly.
Toronto,
A lot of
yeah,
use
that's what I
already
think
used
as
on
well.
both sides where I gotta say it was actually
I
one
was
by King
thinking
towards the end because
champs,
he
but
slept full HP. King was
I
down
think
at
just the
13.
pick rate's
We
too
have
high
Rebels
that
on our
it
side as
happens
You see that Leviatán
before.
Starlight just slowing the tempo after that first engagement. But because of Lee's forward position by that dish and getting punished right away, it doesn't really give a chance here for G2 to rotate over the fight.
So see if that changes. We really need to see if G2 does change up where that play goes.
Okay, it's an important round.
To go for an all-out
2 on
brawl
each to
in
come by
of
next.
the
But the big ult for Valen, Rossi, Demon 1 as well, so they can definitely try and get some ults. Wait, they're going fast? Going fast, smoke.
Non-initiator site for G2. It's going to feel great to get in here at first. And they're going to know it, right? They would expect the fault line by now, so they know a bit of the
Trip's
positioning on
deadly.
the map right off the bat. Zoom in. Oh.
Yep.
Okay, Leave. Already playing off the trips. This
Oh,
one we wanted to see
oh,
last
4
time.
here as
Joggle will be
well.
up on that line. Over towards Satellite and Leaf playing safe now. Rolling Thunder goes out, gives everybody a little
What
bit
an
of sleep.
absolute shot that is from
able to
Rossi.
split
Oh
that
my
one and get
goodness.
between the shot of Jogamo.
Dude, is Demon 1 gonna...
Hello!
Yeah.
Demon 1 and Calm, masterclass in the crossfire as all of G2 try to get out the smokes and retake site.
That's just unfortunate.
What the
But
hell
let's
was
see if
that?
Trent can try to get this one
Demon 1's giving a little
Already gave his position
tap
away
through
here
the
in
door
front
as
of
well.
the site. No go.
Oh!
I gotta say, almost G2 just
I'd be
fell
tempted
to
for
their own
Jogamo to
trick.
drop the AWP with some
When
of
those trips
the
were placed by
rounds.
Leaf in the first place, he got a beautiful one onto King, where he runs into that trip, he gets a kill through the smoke. But then after that, because that trip was actually a little bit more inside that site, remember, it was just around here more towards, than on that barrier where it is,
Okay.
then the players just played behind on the attack side. You saw Calm just playing behind that
Oh, yeah,
trip.
the trip's right there.
Ends up being a beautiful, easy crossfire setup towards the end.
Yeah.
Vex, I give you this. I never do this.
I never do
Blowing
this.
kisses to Max. That's good. Demon 1, that is. As Rossi is very pleased with in that situation. And now, the rest of G2 going to be B.
Demon
and,
1, as
A
is
split.
all. Text 2
All
away.
members of LEV here. They've been doing these 5-ball strats now the past few rounds, and all that util, all that power together is paying off.
Yeah, it's
They've been wall contacting a lot as
And
well.
they're using it with the combination of cycling ults with it. So now Demon 1 has his orbital strike. You see him staying all the way
worked
back
so
towards
well.
the B site, while the rest
It's,
of them are for the XP. So they are making sure here
it's not
that
the
they're
most
playing
open
the pulse
plant,
to their advantage for Leviatán
but
with
you gotta
this
think
combo
they
they come
have...
with.
Oh,
King early recognizes
Really?
where the retaliation is going to come from on this round. 3 of them Arcade. He's actually putting
Okay, is
himself
Demon
in
1 then
that man
gonna-
to fight. Oh, the timing for Demon 1 to smoke. He gets one wade by Valen. 1, 2 for the King. Almost the third one, but Joggen was able to hit the quick shot as he comes out of the smoke, but Tex is there to help as Leaf finds
not
the
a good
shot
plan
on
for
his
you
6.
guys. You got
What's gonna
breach
happen
damage
with the 2v2 in
salvos,
sight?
but
There
then...
is a good amount of util. Yep, after shot salvos. Try to touch
Well,
that
the timing's really
and
nice
you
from it,
are
though.
gonna get fried. Jogamo wants to tell a different story, though. He tries
Respect,
to get
man.
in just on the edge of it, and it's a Red Bull
Hey,
clutch.
this was nice from
Coming in
Lev
for the
though.
side
This
account.
double
And that's the
contact in
difficult thing
5.
again. The
last 2 rounds.
composition you're throwing out here, this is something that
This
you know,
this
Leviatán will
with
have to
Brimble
deal
was
with as
really
well once they
weird,
take the defensive
but
side after
I
this
kind of
round.
liked it in the
But
end.
you
They ended
have
up
to activate
splitting
a little
over
bit more
towards
quickly.
it.
Such
They knew they
good
could
killing
only
coming
be
out
top
on the
side of the map.
Leviatán. Those smokes that came out towards
Brim
the Arcade,
ult got
playing
the
towards
smoke
the
down.
back of the boxes at Arcade, just making sure that they're wasting as much time as possible, rather. And that's twice now that G2 falls into these pulse plant scenarios where they don't act quick enough. And look, last round of the half, another 5-ball strat.
Teo might get the sky treatment. Teo needs the sky
And Lev
treatment.
ran through a recent G2 timeout too without any problem. And like you said,
Digimoji with the prime. Thank you for the 23 months, dude. Thank you, thank you.
They are going for tower and going through that lane play again. Ooh.
Oh boy, well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Every single ult has its
Casters are
used
like,
here in
well,
the
what's the
last
point of
round
me
the
even
first half.
saying all the bits of
Creating chaos
util?
on the site,
Like 20 of
Shorty.
them.
Oh, it's going to be a better one from Valen, but traded by the rest of the team.
Continues forward though.
They are backing up to reset, figure out what they have left to throw into the site. 2 seconds for a fault line here from Jonah, so they're just timing it out, getting the signatures up. They just have to be ready for Calm here. He's Arcade, ready to kill anybody that comes flying through. But
Shots.
One's gonna take that
No.
into his own hands off the
No.
bat. Trent, however, could be the
No,
savior.
not the
Stinger, or
sidestep.
rather the Bulldog here doing so much work for him on this play. Who will he be able to take out next?
The mind games for these two players.
Going to half for sure. Calm just played one of these, so he's going to be able to have that sixth sense on it. Tejo versus Tejo. Where's the diff going to come from? He goes for the DP.
And Trent's having an absolute half, though.
In the corner, but it didn't come out. Trent is not phased. And a 7-5 for G2.
That was a fool me once there for Trent before. The last time on a 1v1, Trent got off the spike, but this time
A
around
little bit lucky with the Demon 1 sidestep into the damage as well, but
with a 7-5 scoreline, that was very nice for both of these teams once again, as we saw some very good Valorant towards the tail end of that first half since those timeouts.
G2 with a lot of control here going into the map, but Lev did show us that they can come back. We're going to take a quick break and see who can finish this series out, or are we going to a map 3?
Still feel like it's a lot more competitive than I thought it would be. Especially considering G2 got a pistol here. How would you nerf Teo? I just think it just needs an extension. Like 50 to 55 seconds on salvos. Something like that. There's no full process. Right? Use it for a default. Use it for your exec. Use it for your afterplant. You can't have that. Like that's stupid. Even honestly, 2 out of 3 is probably stupid as well. But you have to be able to pick and choose to not have one. You can't have all 3. It's so dumb. So if you had like 55-second cooldown, I think then you're like default. Do we use it for the exec or do we use it for the afterplant? And then you have to pick. No regen. If there's no regen, the agent doesn't get used. It's not good enough.
Valorant, that's what we got for you. Medio tempo, halftime. Everything's about to get back into the game now.
So it's like a weird balance.
Timeouts. We got a great 2 maps so far between these two teams.
But I would probably do that and then see. I would probably do that 55-second cooldown, and then honestly, I'm probably attacking the drone as well.
7-5 start for G2.
I'm probably giving the drone.
Attack side. We were seeing Jogamo with the operator on defense, so I kind of feel like it tempered his waylay. We weren't seeing a lot of refracts. We weren't seeing a lot of the hype.
Reduce it by.
I think we'll get the spice.
Like 4 seconds, I think.
I think again the approach you have for G2 firsthand is trying to use that way like the chambers I mentioned before. Trying to get the refract in a good spot, trying to force out a quadrant. I mean, you are playing 4 different positions around the map. So you kind of have to like lock it down at least for one instead of trying to go for as many gamble trap plays as possible around this.
Okay, 1-0 on this map. 2-1 altogether.
And again, Leviatán might be facing very similar issues now in the second half. G2 could explode quite well with the Waylay into the site executions and still play some very good pulse point utility.
Gonna be is in trouble. Oh no, guys. No, I saw the half clear coming in from how they were walking.
3-1-1 around the map, so that could have been very dangerous, but Jonah P makes it look great. Hello, I'm Waylay. Down. You can't do too much when you cross here. Is that broken?
One's on pistol though, still looking unbelievable.
Still going the way now, I'd say, of G2, knowing they can get these 2 members pinned down and try to get the kill.
Yeah, but Tex did a great job delaying so much. Now the other smoke comes through, but they don't really know where Demon 1 is at. Thankfully, the camera is gonna seal the deal. You can pick up the spike, try to move in together here into the A site.
Yeah, the good news is, during the whole of this, no one saw Leaf, so
give himself an angle that he does want, create a little bit of cover.
Okay, well, how knows his sight?
He knows it's not planted, so he's got a lot of time to work with here. He's got the ghost. Really helping to pin down some of these shots from the medium range. I like this. First smoke allows him to basically peek up top towards drop and get a shot on that hallway, but it's going to cut off his angle as he moves in. Oh, the patience from Demon 1. Rising again here to the occasion. Leaf now on the other side. Two players with so much confidence in this situation. Beautiful positioning here. It's going to be the Cypher, so he doesn't have too much post-plant utility even to work here. Looking all around, he's got to get the half at this point.
He's like,
and you got to know where Leaf is coming from. He didn't
Where
see
the
him.
hell
Leaf
is he?
does come from main. And it's
Dude,
Leaf
the
again in
plant
clutch
really
situation,
threw him
taking a
off,
quick
to be
pick of
honest.
himself in the victory pose.
Very nicely done by Leaf towards the end, but I love the scaling that Demon 1 did, trying to isolate as much as he could. That smoke towards that left, you mentioned it.
He has to get half. The problem is that he's looking at the plant thinking, right, that he won't be main, or if he was main, he was trying to shoot me as I was crossing.
He was able to get that nice fight against Valiant for that pick.
What is he?
But then towards the end, yeah, that was the thing. What was he doing? He was trying to find Leaf in that last position.
Okay,
thinking
2-0 on the
that he was always
pistols.
on top of heaven.
He did.
That
2-2.
G2 was going to play the high-low and trade in that position. But in the end, it's a pistol for the side of G2. On the attack, steam back towards that spawn, trying to play the ante on a crunch. But this time around, with nothing really coming out on the side of Leviatán, they have to spot
They
out
take
with
the
a
risk, go for the
stack
4-1.
B, which is why
B2 calling right on this one.
towards the sands. And G2 will have an open sight towards
That's nice.
But
Dash,
Sands rush,
dash
smokes
up
are down.
as you're swinging out
Super
as
easy
well.
run in.
It's cool. Land
Yeah, they
fast
should
if
be
you do
able
the
to get
movement
this
right.
down. Just a low buy for Lev, so you're not expecting too much other than to die to the spike and look for some exits here. But yeah, we are seeing that aggression from G2. A little bit more with Jogma on the attack. Good stun, good classic kill. Okay,
Wait, that's a
it's getting
lot of
little
classic
scrappy, getting a
kills.
little muddy here over in Sands. This is interesting now.
They
Two
got so
Bulldogs
much
going
from
in
Rossi's
versus
stun.
Spectre Bulldog, so Leviatán feel like they can get back into this one. They do just have the aftershock. That's about it from Rossi. They clear it and disperse. Valen with a great headshot placement. If he gets Rossi first, this is all but over.
Last player standing.
Find out in the open too. Hard to do.
Yeah. Oh my God!
He's got it.
Got to be close.
No. That was
Gotta be
very,
close.
very close.
Thrift.
Oh, he gets it 30.32!
Insane.
The wall bank from the ghost.
Well, how did they manage to
from
do that
Tex.
one?
I was gonna say, yes, he looked really good and muddy on the side of Leviatán to get those kills, but it didn't have any of these salvos or the fault line because they had to use it for the flood back into Sands. And it had to boil down to that. Tex finding the last player. And he went for the swing just before he went for the tap and finds his demise instead because of that. And Leviatán's able to get a very nice thrifty towards the end.
Crazy stuff. So G2 taking Lev's second round. Lev
It's a
now
good
taking
chance now for them.
G2's second
Get the
round. So
outlaw,
thrifty.
everyone can get one shot.
This one is an unexpected.
The hero
back
gun
and
on
forth
Leaf.
from What we have seen
Just
throughout
leading
this
the way
stage.
through. Picking the right side
Change
again.
From Lev, even now with King back on the Neon, on the Duelist, and switching back to that smoke for Demon 1, does not seem to be rocking the boat here from the momentum today.
I think Tex saw him, yeah, for sure. After the jump
Oh,
spot.
Tex is in so much trouble.
Such a tough spot
Oh,
to play
no,
right
not
after.
a gun
There's
down.
no util to help him out.
Nope.
Yeah, Jogama dashes over though. He's not the
Big
person that
tough
can.
one
Okay.
there. Already the rotation coming in here. King with a nice quick outlaw. There was a
they-
focus on the drone for Jonah P. Oh, just on the ankle.
The bait's so heavy
Okay,
here.
someone help this. Somebody
I know the
train
bait is so
never
worth.
mind. They'll
The
stay
bait
on
was
line.
nuts, man.
Leaf was just
Jogama
in the
did
corner
so
giving you the
good.
shh emo. He's like, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
and that was one of
Okay, now
those
you
where
can-
it's like
It was all planned. It was all a ruse. And
you gotta get
just
so
slaughtered
much for the
last
bait, but the
members
bait
there,
was
Lev, as
so
they come
good.
through
Yeah.
main. Some weapons all around, but still a lower buy for Lev here as we move into the next round.
Well, the hero gun did
And
everything.
again, you're playing 4-1 weak side on the side of Leviatán, but that said, that double kill from Leaf, because it was so labored for King to fight versus his opponent there towards the A hallway, Leaf senses that he could actually bait
Explain
this team.
sight.
Exactly.
No
Have a
mismatch in
little
that
weird
corner
setup
gets
where
2
he's
free
like
kills with the medal and
jumping
brings
to
us
spot
into this
feed
round.
over towards A
That
main.
snuffs out the eco that was
Then he
brought by
can
Leviatán
flash
in the
duel.
previous round, and that resets
I don't
everything
know. I
all-
think he's
all
got to
across the board.
commit
Everything's back
heavy
normal
to his
now.
first duel. I
G2's
would need to
back
look at
to
flash
rifle
again, to be
round.
honest. But
Leviatán's on the lower buy, trying to be a little bit more proactive around these stingers.
do I
and
think he should be
rifles.
playing solo over towards the side
But
against
for
an eco
G2,
though?
they
Probably
don't
not.
want to let go here of The gas.
Especially
I
not
think it's one of
committed.
the things we recognize about them so much, and when you're never feeling that they are going to completely
okay, Lev go
lose,
all
is
in,
that
by
they
the
can
way.
adapt whatever protocol's hitting them. It may be a few rounds, and then they're back in it, right? They're kind of mixing
Yeah, and
in
they
the
go for
economy.
the liquid.
They're not letting their opponent get too far
Ooh,
ahead
nice
of
shots.
them. However, Tex, though, starts to put his name on this round with a few heads of G2.
Great punishment being done, but the ult, everybody got away from it, so still rifles available for
Stimmy
this side of G2.
Off of Demon 1, Stimmy, but still it's going to be Jonah P with that Vandal coming through. King was just about to take his position there in the tower to give some assistance to the team. The Stingers and that Vandal to come through, but Leaf using his gate just for the right positioning, does realize there's a flank, but doesn't look in time. It's going to be calm on the Stinger, and there's a few gun upgrades as well as ult points to get that Armageddon now online for Lev.
Yeah, that was a nice little setup, though, for Leviatán with that wall coming up right at the default spot. That's an idea for them to
Realize come as
see if
alive,
they can
alive
flush
just to
and
the
plant
end,
and
yeah.
force the player to plant in that spot. You run salvos, guarantees the kill. No matter what, though, it was a wall that was trying to get baited out by Valid, and he still gets punished for it. And then Tex also punishes Jogno trying to go for the trade right after. And that really allowed here Leviatán to fight back in that round and break the
Stingers
econ
again.
for G2 in the next. But with that wall coming up that early, and then spotted by G2, that's definitely going to be something they're going to think about in their future rounds. They're going to try to plant towards this B site if they know
Okay,
it's
double
coming in,
hero gun.
that Tex is set up
Stinger
towards
as
B.
well.
Holy push. Satellite's getting hit hard. They have 4 ults now.
Whoa.
They do have the
All the
retake.
smokes get
Armageddon
invested, so we've got
and,
the smoke over
Rolling
towards
Thunder
site for them to
initiate
plant
two from the
into.
side of Lev,
Does
so
he
this
get
could
there in time? Does he get the
spicy.
plant down?
Jog into
It's the
smoke
after
right away,
plant,
coming in from
util
Balance, so they have a
spam.
bit of priority up top,
Oh
and it's
boy.
his plant.
Oh my god, he gets
King with
one.
the full spray, and he gets penalized for it. Demon 1 now
There we go.
answers, and they're going to have a bit of site control. Wait a minute. Wait, this is more than awkward, but the util's
They tap it
there.
pretty
We see
early.
the aftershock placement now. We
Oh, the molly
see
missed.
what the strategy is
misses.
all
But-
about.
To get to the other side, you gotta still tank the molly.
All right, one Rolling Thunder goes out. Remember,
They
he's still
all
got the orbital strike.
breed
You got
short,
basically
they
everything
go
from G2 to
Brimble
just
as
toss
well.
And juggle Leviatán in the air here. Tex is still trying to make
there goes the
a
Brimble.
case for winning this round, though. Oh, that
And they
The
got
defuse
this
is
as
gonna
well,
come
where
through.
they
A
invested
whole
so
lot of
much
mess on the
here.
screen, but
They
we
kind
do
of
get the
went
kill
really
For
in.
Lev to come through, everybody was just trying to fight and jump to drop there to get whatever piece of the fight that
They
they
won,
could.
yeah, they tapped the spike
I
so
do not
early.
envy
They got the util out of him like
Sapphire,
really,
Prius,
really
or
early.
Yeti's job in that moment. There were so many ults on both ends. There's chaos through smoke, and people are actually fighting through the smoke as well, where
No
you're
Brim
trying
ult.
to stop
Yeah,
players
they
trying to
almost
go
used
to
that.
defuse towards that A site. But you saw the idea, that's what we mentioned before. You don't have a razor composition for G2, but you can still wail a
Who
dash
come with
on
the flank
top
and
for a
stuff?
plant. With that, you have so many ults to work with for the pulse plant, and Leviatán understood that. And they're on a different tempo versus G2. They're like, okay, well, there's so much util in the pulse plant, we have to fight right away. So great understanding and great fighting through the
That's
chaos
nice.
for Leviatán that allows for them to get the round. Yeah, but all of the ults got expended on the defensive side with the exception of the Brimmy ult for Demon 1.
Yeah, and G2 are still sitting on quite a few. They might
Round's got his, yeah.
might be able to string some rounds together now.
Oh, what a shot that is. Not sure about the
Overwhelmed
passing
with
from Jogomo,
options.
but
And that's a
That's
quick
spiked out.
death for Demon 1. There goes the orbital strike. A little bit of a stall out on the round. Rossi and Tex with big kills. A third one, possibly a fourth now
hey,
for
this
Tex.
looked
He has been
this looked convincing
racking
from
them up
Lev
this
though. They
game,
might
but
be
it's
on
him
for
and
this.
Rossi able to come through on the rounds.
It
They
is
build
looking
off
a little
back
bit
up
rough
and
from
bring it to
G2.
even now, 9-9.
2 times now that G2 is trying to work towards the B site, and they've been stuffed out by the wall from Tex. He's doing
retakes.
such a great job here on anchoring towards that side. Yeah, he ran into a bit of trouble towards the A side first, but his B side holds have been very good on top of the bodies around him to assist. Lev doing a good job on these
Spike
last
just
rotates
flew in.
around, and
Ian, you're a fucking tank.
yeah, we viewed it the wrong word, but I think we wanted to say tank.
Tank is a terrible word. What are you talking about? That was all right. We got the vibes out of it. But yeah, you can see now.
ABSL,
it's-
thank you so
it's
much, bro. Appreciate
different.
the 8
How much
months.
are they now hyping up the team? You know,
Fracture?
they're in these
I mean, it's an
positions where they
attack-sided.
just want to keep building each other up. Their smiles there. It seems
It's
like
honestly
Rossi is
whoever
bringing a
wins
great
the
vibe to that
pistol.
because we're always going to him
But,
there.
Yeah.
It's
like,
always a
sided
comment
just 'cause
there
you
from
can just
the
snowball
leader
so much
trying
with
to build
ults,
the
but
other brains on the squad.
At
it
least
is
so
an
far for
attack-sided
G2 on
map.
the attack side, they've been pretty 1 year ago kind of thing when you go for these executions, right? So Leviatán have actually been rotating fairly quickly once they figure out like that util coming out from G2. They know that it's a full site hit. They'll play on post fight util right after. So
G2 Stingers.
rotating across and getting the right bodies in the right moments.
They're good with them, but
to trade each other out and win these rounds. And that might be for G2 to maybe try to work the map a little bit more slowly these time
bit of a
around,
money
this
diff
time
at the
around.
moment.
Maybe not this round because they're on a stinger buy for 3 players.
Yeah, the stinger buys scare me, Vans. They come out kind of strong in these rounds on G2's side.
And I'm even looking at how they're looking at the minimap. I think this is a fault line salvo right up to where Calm is going to be playing. And trying to get
do
really
they do
in that
the
position.
salvo stun
There's
breach
the salvo
damage?
cross.
Yeah. Dude, Com's instantly out of there. As soon as he saw that stun, he was out of there.
There's going to be no smoke up there, too, so they're actually seeing if anybody will return to that position right away with the slow comms going through. Now the smokes come through. Tex, however, insight anchoring like an absolute boss here. Not a single person is going to get through so far. Demon 1
Some
just
great
on the right
shots
side,
from
and there's
him.
going to be another kill here from the smoker. It just seems like Tex and Demon 1 are playing so well off each other throughout Fracture here.
Yeah, give me another hot mic after this one. Let's see what Rossi tells me this time
seriously.
around. We're just going to min-max the orbs. Thought Trent would run over towards tree and just trying to get the Armageddon as soon as possible, especially now that he's been pushed out of his position.
Oh, just eats the relay bolt. It is the
Nice round from
4K for
Tex. Good
Tex. If I had
shots.
to guess from Rossi on the flawless, he's giving out more kisses this time because that was a beautiful round from Tex.
Yeah, and this time you notice that when he's not playing on the top of that site where he could have been sprayed by anything there and just die. Playing outside in the open. Very cerebral on where he's positioning around to get these picks. And now Leviatán take the lead on their map pick of Fracture. Again, haven't seen this since their kickoff game against
Okay,
G2,
this is the
right?
first time on Attack we got this ult, right?
passed that line where they lost
So they must have a good
9-13
strat for this.
the last time around. Now they're getting really close to push this onto Haven.
Oh, that's a step.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
just
King
caught out
activated
here.
on that step so fast.
Just not expecting him so close with the drone.
He's got 2 other players to support him on top of that, so it's beautiful what they did at the beginning to stop
Nice.
Naked 80, yes!
Ooh.
Spots Trent.
Very heady plays from King here, looking for so much more. And it's like you don't get this on his Yoru, but you get it on his Omen and his Neon. Interesting stuff. It's just that comfortability you're seeing from these players when they get back on one of their wheelhouse agents.
The thing is, we went for a drone towards the A-holes, and Leviatán reads that, okay, well, they're not
An
really
angle there,
coming
yeah, it's
outside of
the-
that spot. They should be coming
The
towards
Jing
Arcade.
special, the
But
double
they need to
satchel.
reposition from Arcade at the underpass. And they have
It's
an
like a
opportunity now to
repeat
even
of
get
the first map,
back
really.
onto Leviatán.
A double.
Oh, says okay. This is weird.
Oh, he saw him.
No.
Did-
It's pinged, it's pinged. He
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah.
He saw him at least, but like,
Like-
oh, that could have been an ascent moment.
Is that a mirage? What's happening right now? Was that real? All right.
30
This is
seconds
still.
left.
This is even getting more awkward for Jog because now they know he's here and he doesn't know he was seen, so nobody's
Exactly.
picking him.
That's why Demon 1's just positioned and looking his crosshair at that spot, but so much time
Oh,
is
it's a
wasted. They have to
great
fight
ult.
somewhere else.
Spike planted.
Did they get...
Oh my gosh. They're able to sort themselves around the fight so well.
Oh,
G2 gets out of position.
Did he hit
Back in
Trent
the
with it,
Jogmo
yeah?
At the last second, and they are just playing with their
No
feet.
way,
Right
Calm.
now, Calm with 2. The
I was
insta
gonna say, it's
straight
looking
up
like a
flick to
repeat
be
of
able
the
to get
first
another
map,
kill
right?
onto
One
Trent,
team
and
wins
Lev
double
is
pistol,
vibing.
but then the other
That was
team
a
just
huge
looks better on
moment
the
there
map.
where G2 could actually
It
punish
honestly
Leviatán
does look
because
like
of where
that.
Jogmo's position was at.
2-0 on the
You saw how
pistols, Lev
slow
just
they
look
were.
better in the
And you
Byrams.
had Demon 1 just watching from the canteen back towards the spawn. The players on the A side never rotated across, just held back towards the control at the spawn as well. And it just had to come down to those 2 players fighting back towards the arcade. And somehow just those 2 players were good enough to get those 3 kills and hold a perfect post plan in the end.
And I think this reflects really well in the round we saw Jogamo kind of dimensional drift into spawn on Lotus, and Lev weren't able to adapt. They know he's there because he dimensional drift past people. And here
Which
he
one's
gets
this
by
one? The
them
molly
just
here or the
regularly,
molly
and
for
Lev,
heaven?
They protocol very well and adapt to the situation. So from map to map, already seeing great things here. It looks like it's going to be a pretty tough hit just to get some A main control.
Does it like bounce through the hole and
Yeah,
go
it's
in?
fairly quick too.
No, okay, just
Trying
for
to get
run
a
out.
volley in front of the spawn so
So
the
no
rest
one
of
can
them
run
just
out, and
activate
honestly,
much more quickly through the
Tex is
sands.
here for a little bit.
Delays attempt by Tex, denied by Jonah P. And now G2 will have a site to potentially take as we get a kill through this smoke by Demon 1.
And a big kill.
Trent has ult.
Hex is also gone
Leaf has
there.
ult. Body on
Got the
site.
util to get back into sight, but they
Jonah
uplink,
P
and
gets
now
a
they're
kill,
getting
he
some
gets
great
ult.
info that two are flanking on
And
that
Trent
right
is playing
side.
really far off the site. What the hell is that?
Relay bolt to the air as we see King try to get the ground underneath the site. They're pushing in. The relay bolt does quite a bit of damage, or quite a bit of stun there. Not able to get both players though before the trade comes through. The 2v3 now as Lev tries to make the way back into the site. The first one's gonna whiff there. Rossi just missing over the head of Alan. And now Demon 1 in a tough spot to collect this round. Looks like a 10th for G2.
Yeah. Definitely a good round towards the end, snuffed out by G2. That was all thanks to utility coming out from Trent as well. Armor getting to keep them at bay, whether trying to
Ends
push
up being a pretty
across.
cool set strat though.
And even the shots had
Molly
to
down
land
towards
on
here.
the
We
side
got
of G2. You
smoke,
saw
smoke,
that
smoke.
line up from the relay
Yeah,
bolt.
insta dash.
Oh,
What did he
that
do?
was even
Insta dash into the
off
top?
Over in Sad Esports and Challengers. she even tweeted that
And
at
then
some
try
point where
pinch.
you could actually relay bolt at the top and get it at the default spot. Two of them were stunned.
Yeah, the stun's pretty
He
cool.
still got that kill with the Guardian.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly
cool.
that. Beautifully done towards the end. And G2 is able to narrow that gap, narrow that lead that Leviatán has built in the second half when they had stringed 5 rounds in a row.
Oh
not
boy.
that strat.
Yeah, that strat is going in the trash.
Well,
All right, another timeout coming in for Leviatán. We'll see what else they got in the book, because we flipped the page on that one. They have been good out of timeouts, though. Being able to kind of flip their script and do something G2 isn't expecting. And
Yeah,
they've
that's
even
funny,
taken
man.
a few of G2's timeouts and broken that stride. So we'll see. It is a vibe in here today. It is a vibe.
We get it from the players and fans for sure, and I'm vibing watching this game. It's been very exciting so far between these two teams. And you know what? I'll be honest, going into this game with seeing how Leviatán has started their split one, it was potentially going to be a fast day for us. But they're definitely bringing a fight from that first lap in the second one as well.
We all thought.
Very impressive what they've been cooking up here from 1 week to the next. And again, this is something that Rossi has mentioned in his interview with Baby Bay. A lot of confidence moving into this one.
With
into
they didn't
rest
really
of
know the
series.
setup. They would have to
Confident
like.
if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's all
Try
his
and cut
fault.
off
But he's
this.
fully confident in what this team could bring. And they're definitely actually forcing here G2 to maximize the timeouts, maximize the cerebral brains of both Joel Sharty and Anders in this moment. And also, of course, the IGL being Valen, trying to tie up this
Dude,
game
everyone's
in this
really
round, so
far
back
away
for the
from ults
timeout
apart
for
from
the
Com,
group
and
to
then
get on the
obviously
arcade.
Jonah P has his.
And here's that setup that we talked about, the weak side, leaving only Tex alone. And when he hears that info,
Lose arcade, insta reaction is to push down here, but Leaf here's the drone. And G2 are just falling back into set strats. And a law that is on Leaf here. And does he have delay of cages? Nope, not at least down. Well, they should know that he's close though.
One go, two,
Hey,
jog, but
lovely
they trade back
trades.
and forth now to 3v3 here. They still have the utility to retake the site.
Demon 1 heard the rotate from underpass, so they know there's at least one on
Nice
the
shot.
arcade.
Oh my gosh, doesn't even worry about the step, still has the head
Oh,
placement. still
man,
has the
Valen's
head
done
placement.
really good.
Another shot towards Jenny. Valen is going on fire right now before he gets taken down. Not even half can be grabbed. It's looking like an 11th round here for G2 out of the timeout.
Double stun.
Yeah, this is going to be tough.
Very,
Jordan
very
gets
nice,
that last
and
frag. You can always
with
find him
Valen
in
getting so
tower.
many
He's
kills
sitting
as
in his
well,
castle, and he's gonna
they
go
managed
ahead
to
and
have
get that
ult.
round for G2.
And that was nice by Leviatán at least to start to fight back towards that train for Leaf to at least get one with 3 players pushing through. That was a crucial kill. And Leviatán knew they could only focus towards that tree because that wall was never activated on the top B site. But the fight going into the rest, all thanks to Valen with a beautiful 2K off that post plant from the default spot.
So that was a Waylay activation round for sure. One of the, we've seen a few. We saw the other one at A when he dashed into the smoke and they full post.
King gets the op out.
It's been a little tempered
Holds
here.
over towards arcade. They
Now
try
we're
and make
starting
it
to
look
get
like they're
dogma
pushing.
moments.
Yeah, King's also
From
gonna bring out
Dish,
the
push
alt
you
this
into
time
it.
around. Something new that they're pulling in the second half now for Leviatán, and he's just watching towards
Takes the
arcade.
ropes
There's a lot of
and
bodies
leaves
here, a
Trent
lot of
on his
players
own.
helping him out towards that spot. Such a huge weak side towards that front A site.
Takes the
for
rope back.
Leviatán. As it slows down.
Camera like
Start moving pieces around while they
Okay, well, they
haven't
saw
been
each
contesting
other.
that all towards the arcade. People have to start moving around on the side of Leviatán to figure out where their weak side could be, trying to recover the weak side spot. You definitely see here the rotate from Rossi to jiggle in that spot.
Pinging the smokes. They actually got a smoke from Demon 1 on the
This
A
feels
main as
like
well.
King gets a kill here,
Considering
does he
G2
not?
is going to be there just from the Cypher peak. They've done a great
Oh,
job
it's an
of
incredible
holding
jump
both the
peak.
members. King now on the jumping relay bolt. And
Wait, what the
inside
hell's going on
Cypher,
site?
Impact is going to have to save Jogamo all the way back to yesterday in the collateral from King coming through. Oh, there's a fake. Rossi's still here. He's going to be able to get himself hit and get the flash, get the plays, get the aftershock, and he's going to get himself a position that's not going to work for the situation. Jogamo finds the upper hand there.
The spike's still down. And here is time for G2 to potentially replay while Valiant is still alive. Could recall the hit towards that B side. 18 seconds left. Only Tex alone on B.
Getting the super jiggle in. Tex always good for 1. Is he good for 2, or is he good to just wait for the teammates and play
Yeah, he
this
played
one
it well.
safe? Dark Rose goes off. That's going to be
Played
a
it really,
blind
really well.
G2. That's gonna
Okay,
be 12
one
for
chance
Leviatán on Fracture.
for Lev to take us to
You
Haven.
have to check that replay for Tex against Jogamo. I felt like I was watching Disney on Ice. As Jogamo was actually dashing through, you pop the flash on the side of Tex, and they're both just dancing around trying to avoid each other where they're both blinded. But then when that got activated, it was G2 trying to go for the split back towards that B site, and King pulls up a beautiful collateral kill, which give a chance there for Leviatán to just close out that map. Or close out the round, rather, and give themselves that map point.
Man. Look at that scoreboard. Everybody's fragging out here. Everybody's playing. Lev said it coming into
What
the day.
is
It's gonna
this?
take a
This
lot of
stun is
people.
gonna be
We're have to
everything,
frag.
no?
We're gonna have to play strong. We're gonna have to play together.
Jogama's
Assistance coming in
committed.
for Leviatán is good. It's gonna cause
Yeah,
frack back
Lev had
from
pretty good
Jogamo.
util
He
to
takes
shut
a bit
this
of damage,
down.
But they're gonna cheat. Oh my God! They keep
They're
going
fighting.
in. They keep going in. The jump peaks, the fights, the util. Everything is here in the kitchen sink as G2 and Lev are not giving up this little bit of space to start the round.
In another moment of an orbital strike, splitting out the
Oh my
push.
gosh.
Rossi gets the pick off the Trent as well. Leviatán wants to close out this map. Rolling Thunder for the push.
This could be it. 4v3 here. Lev looking to bring us to Haven, looking to take down G2 on Fracture. Both teams' first appearance here in stage 1 on the map. And Lev making it look a little different. G2 push back in here, and things quiet down.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Rossi might regret using that Rolling Thunder right away.
You tell, yeah,
They
the
defend
util's
towards
nuts.
the A side. They have to peek for info, and
Oh,
already losing a
boy.
lot.
Great stall smoke. 30 seconds left on the round. They're going to have to split this one between Sands now to make
Gets
sure they're not
weird
getting
because
themselves flanked
Valen
themselves.
invested both his smokes here, so
Lev is here to get a bit of a crossfire. Or up and down.
Demon 1 has Molly, but doesn't want to use it. Crossfire is being set up with Calm.
very, very nice from Lev. They are just better on this map for sure. Will no pistols win the map? Okay, Haven. G2 still looking a little weak on Fracture.
Leviatán gets their revenge against G2 on this map. Bull team once again